Namaste, welcome to another episode of Navavimash podcast. So today we have a special episode with Shriram Singh, and we are going to start a new series on indigenous medicine systems. So we know Ayurveda. Ayurveda is a 5,000, 10,000 year old medicine practice, which was practiced in ancient India, and we have seen quite literature is available, ancient literature from Shushrut to many other authors, Patanjali, who were pioneers in terms of Ayurvedic literature, Ayurvedic medicines, practices. So, to talk about this ancient system of holistic medicine, okay, of human well-being. So, we are going to talk about this. So, we're going to talk about a specific topic today. So, we have seen now in the buzzwords like superfoods. So, what is a superfood, and what is the role of food in our overall health, overall well being, from our mental health to physical health to overall feeling a sense of health, health as a kind of lifestyle. So, doshas and food. So, we're going to talk about today food as medicine, as something which is discussed in detail in our ancient Ayurvedic literature. So, our guests will be speaking very shortly. Uh, Shriram Singh, whenever you are ready, do let me know. In the meantime, I am going to give little bit of brief into the concept of doshas and also a diet. So, how the kind of food we consume, the kind of diet we have, the kind of lifestyle we have, from our sleep cycles to doing exercise, doing meditation, how all these things can actually contribute to us living a healthy life, a life well preserved, well described in our ancient literature. So we'll talk about this. And in the meantime, the audience can ask questions. So you can ask, you can use, let me just put, so you can use hash ASK to ask questions to the guest itself. And but due to a lot of admin reasons, we might not take all the questions. So if you want something that okay, the question needs to be answered by the guests, you can also use the option of super chats. So that helps us to actually identify the questions. But we will take all kinds of questions. You don't have to do the super chat. You can ask normal questions, and we take all of them. But we might not be able to take all the questions because of the time's paucity. But we try to answer as many questions on the relevant topics as possible. Sridham Singh ji, are you able to hear me? Okay, I think there might be some technical issue, but not a problem. We'll get this sorted. Let me just connect. Yeah, thank you. And also, we are also going to actually talk about in our coming sessions. We are going to read Ayurvedic texts. So there are a lot of good books written in various in English, also books written in the regional languages in Bangla, in Tamil, in Kannada. So yeah,
Yeah, I think I'll have to. Yeah, now I think both are visible.
yes, yes, yes.
Just let me just.
Yeah. So am I audible? And audience also do let us know.
Yeah, now I'll put it on my different mobile because there was some problem in that mobile. I think now I'm able to see me. Yes, yes, yes. I
Yes.
was listening to you. Please, please. Yeah, yeah, Bhupenji.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yeah. So actually, yes, I was talking about the concept of holistic medicine. Okay.
Yeah.
Medicine as part of our diet, part of our lifestyle, part of how when we sleep, how much sleep we get, how much meditation we do, how much junk food and tamasic food and sattvic food we consume. So all these things. So, in Ayurvedic principles, in Ayurvedic literature, food is a very essential part of how do you take care of your health, and what you consume actually makes a lot of difference what kind of diseases you might get in later period. So on that note, I would first like to introduce our guest today, Shriram Singh. So before we start, can you give a little bit of intro to our guests who don't know you, like where you were born, what you do now, and how do you come about on the Ayurvedic literature perspective?
Yes, yes, yes. So I was born, brought up in Nagpur, and engineering, MBA, banking, and I have worked in multiple organizations, including MNCs like HSBC, HDFC, and Indian NBFCs. So I've seen that, after, I've been yoga and pranayam practitioner since I was a kid, but when I was after my, let's say, 25 till 35 or till 38, that 10 years I compromised a lot on my health aspect because I was traveling, eating all junk foods, whatever was available. I was vegetarian. Sometimes I turned vegetarian. Whatever was available in India or abroad, and I was not leaving the lifestyle. I was not following the laws of nature, which is very important. You have to follow the laws of nature. And then I realized when I turned 35, 38, approximately, that's the time. I'm now 49, 50. I was suffering with multiple problems. So I was a pre-diabetic patient. I had high cholesterol. I was suffering with positional vertigo. I was otherwise also, I had, I was suffering with bleeding piles, which is severe constipation. I was operated exactly 15 years back, and once when I was 20, and I had skin issues and multiple problems. Then I had lower back problems. I was bedridden for 3 months, and multiple this. I had some ear problem because I was using excessive, the earphone and all that. And then I started going back to the Vedas. As you mentioned, Charak Samhita, which is there here, if you see. So Charak Samhita, Ashtang Hridayam, and all these, and started listening to people like Rajiv Bhai Dikshit and multiple such people. He's known, but there are multiple Ayurvedic practitioners who are not known. And we started listening to them and understanding what this Vedas teaches you, and started following it, and could come out of it completely, just following the nature's laws of nature, following, balancing the Panch Mahabhut and the three doshas, what we talk about, and without any medicine for last 15 years. So that's my brief introduction. I've seen multiple HNIs and family offices, because I advise them, and I've seen that they are mentally, physically, and emotionally so weak, and that we need this badly, to be told to them, and so that they start living, live happily as well as in bliss. So that's where, I got, and now I am trying to promote this food as medicine and natural lifestyle amongst my HNI clients and my friends and my society.
Yeah, thank you very much for this brief introduction. So it's very important. Okay, so one disclaimer that it needs to go from my side, also from the guests, that we are not giving any medical advice. Okay, so we are going to just talk about how Ayurvedic principles can actually enhance your overall health. So do not take these as a medical advice. If you have any medical issues, do consult physicians or experts on this medical field. But as a general discussion point, we would be covering a specific aspects of Ayurvedic principles, including doshas and panchabhutas. But if you have some kind of medical disease, do consult a proper practicing medical practitioner to get your remedy. So also to you, Shiramji.
No, no,
Thank you.
absolutely,
So
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah, so now let's get back to our topic. So the concept of medicine as food. So could you just give us a brief a understanding that from the Ayurvedic principles, how does food as medicine comes about?
So you have already talked about Vedas. So first, Rishi Shushruta came, who is considered to be the surgical, father of surgery. And then came Rishi Charak, who is Ayurveda specialist. And then came Rishi Vagbhat. Okay, and these they came after a gap of 3 4 years. So Rishi Charak and Rishi Shushruta came before BC, and of course Vagbhat came after that. So more than 2000 year old all these Vedas are. And then he spoke about food as medicine, which is what even Rajiv Bhai Dikshit has promoted. And excuse me. So food itself. I started experimenting on my own body first. That is more important. Including my wife, who was diagnosed with cancer. So that time also we followed a particular lifestyle, wherein we try to address it, and there is a story, how she delivered a baby, and that doctor also had told us that she'll not be able to conceive. So she conceived and she delivered a baby even after chemotherapy and all that. And including in my body, when I was suffering, so I started using food. So I can give you some examples, if you want, just to clarify. And because what Rajiv Bhai Dikshit says that our kitchen is a pharmacy. So all the spices, all the grains, all the leaves. So if you see my home, I have got 25 pots, which consists of multiple leaves: aloe vera, pan, giloe, jivanti, insulin plant, periwinkle leaf, and multiple such tulsi, of course, and multiple such pots. Hut jod is also there. So all these leaves are herbs for me. I don't go for medicine as such. Even now also, because of extreme travel, I don't go for medicine.
Shriramji, your video is freezing. Could you just check your connection? Audience,
I'm down with sore throat and all because there's a lot of pollution. I'm not able to breathe properly.
let me just check. I think there is some connection issue with the guest. So let me just connect with him.
Late night till 1:30, 2
Shriramji, I think
o'clock in my.
your connection. Sorry, Siddhamji, I think there is some connection issue with your end. So your video is getting freezing. Yeah, now it's okay. Okay, can you speak again? Just speak. Uh, I think there is some connection issue. Let me just connect with the guest, and in the meantime, let me just check also on the chat. Yeah, guest had a problem with the connection, so he's connecting from a new device. In the meantime, we'll just check a few chats and questions we are getting. Yes, there might be no actually internet connections, especially on mobile, are not very stable. So these things do happen, but we'll get over it. Not an issue. So we have seen two questions. from Shoptorshi. So we'll, yeah, I think the guest has arrived. Yes.
Yes,
Y-
sorry, I'm extremely sorry. I think there are problems, technical problems which comes. So
No
this is
issue. I think,
another yeah.
yeah, I think you can continue where we left off. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so I was sharing that then when I started using food as medicine, including, for example, the organically grown vegetables and fruits, including millets, including eating the right kind of food at the right time, seasonal, local, and based on doshas. So this is basically food alone, of course, is food is important, but the right time, the right to the right prakriti. Everyone has different prakriti, so one food can be a very good food for someone but may not be the right kind of food for the other person based on the prakriti. So all that I started analyzing, and I understood my body first. So we have to understand our body first. Once we understand our prakriti, and then follow the laws of nature first, and eat the right thing at the right time, seasonal, local, and that's all. And that is what I have been doing for last 15 years. And if I tell you, and of course you have rightly put the disclaimer, but I have the reports before and after of all the problems which I have am able to address it, and just by using food. We can discuss on that whenever you feel comfortable. And each and every problems, we have a protocol of food, what I took, what I ate, how I exercised, how I clubbed this with nutrition, meditation, and yoga, and how I came out of it. And even doctors were surprised how it can be done. So food can cure at a cellular and molecular level. Your meditation and yoga can cure your cells and your molecules. And we are made of trillions of cells. Once the cell is happy, you are happy. Once the cell is healthy, you are healthy. And our body is each and every organ and part of our body is made of cells. That particular variety of cells. So we have to address and make that cell happy, the gut bacteria happy, which can only happen if we eat right kind of food.
Sure, sure. So, on that front, in terms of like health benefits of having a healthy lifestyle. So, you mentioned two specific things. One is when you consume your food. So, there has been a lot of research going on with regard
Hmm.
to gut health. So, we know from the medical research done by, let me just check the research itself. So, I'll just so we know a Harvard trained researcher, Mr. Panda, who talks about the importance of gut health, and
Hmm.
gut health is directly linked to your mental health. So there has been a research, a proven research, a clinical research, which actually has proven that your mood swings, signs of depression, signs of anxiety, and overall mental health is at a fundamental level is controlled by the microbiome, the bacteria which is residing in your gut. So, and that is impacted by what you consume. So, if you're going to consume junk food, fast food, oily food, so that is going to adversely impact your gut health, good bacteria, and that in turn will actually impact your mental health. So now we have seen in 2020 when that lockdown happens. So there has been a tremendous explosion of mental health issues across the globe. So, how do you think that a holistic medicine practice like Ayurveda, which consists of meditation, sattvic food consumption, circadian rhythm, how they will actually impact our overall health and specifically mental health?
Yeah, yeah. So everything starts with the gut. It is called second brain, and it takes time because even I had really there were a lot of Atankwadis so called in my gut when I was 35 because I was eating all junk food, Coke, Pepsi, pizza, burger, and whatever I could get it. All the paneer and all masalas, all gravies, and samosas and vada pavs and bread related issues. So my gut bacteria were not happy. That's why I was suffering with so many issues, severe constipation every day. And now it's so simple. See, our gut bacteria, our teeth, and all our body is designed as a vegetarian. Okay, as something to eat whatever is naturally available. The best thing is to eat natural fruits, vegetables in their raw form, provided they are organic. And that's where we focus on Gau Adharit Krishi, natural or organic farming. So all the food should be organic. That's the first thing. Otherwise, if you eat organic, if you eat chemical infested even fruits and vegetables or salads, that's not going to have positive impact on it. Now our gut bacteria, and you will be surprised. Now when I go out, I don't tempt of eating out at all. You'll be surprised that in the last almost a decade, I have not eaten, let's say, pizza or burger, maybe once a year sometimes, when you go and, someone insists for it. Otherwise, even samosas and outside food, I eat ghar ka khana. And my gut bacteria has started, they know that, okay, people say, how can we avoid not drinking all those drinks and eating all pizza, burger, or whatever outside food. Not even pizza, burger, even rice, and even biryanis, even lacha paratha and all those naan parathas, and all those are junk food according to me. Everything you eat out is junk food. Everything is packed is a junk food. Even if it is millet, cookies or all that, those are junk food. If it is stored for more than, let's say, 2 3 hours, then it is junk food. All packed foods are junk food. So my gut bacteria started understanding it, and now my gut bacteria has become so strong. You have that sixth sense, we talk about sixth sense, that if I eat something wrong, you know, it rejects it. So either I have something which comes out of it, either I have to sweat out so that it comes out of my sweat, or it comes out when I defecate in the morning. And that's smart. The gut bacteria, the microbiome becomes, and they are the second brain. They have direct connection with the brain. They have direct connection with the all cells of the body, and that is where the food comes in, the nutritional food comes in. You have to provide very good nutrition food to your microbiome. We call it prebiotic and probiotic. Prebiotic is for gut biome. You have to feed them the right food, and then only they can digest the probiotic or whatever the fermented product we eat or drink. So good, you're showing this research. This is absolutely right, and we are realizing now most of the people are talking about gut bacteria, microbiome, which is, see, this is applicable to agriculture also. I'll tell you, it's not about quantity of microbes, it's about the variety of microbes. Understand this: biodiversity of microbes in soil is going down day by day. There were lakhs of and I have the names of those lakh, let's say 1 lakh bacteria, good bacteria, which were present in soil earlier, because we were doing organic agriculture. We were using cow dung and cow urine and leaves and natural herbs for farming. Same thing applies to your gut. We are losing the variety, the biodiversity of bacteria, which can absorb multiple food items. Now we have got reduced variety of bacteria, and those bacteria have become atankwadi, and they are only happy when you eat something sweet, something pizza, burger. They become very happy, and that's why you feel like eating it. You have to change that. in normal society also, some people who are like, I'm just for the sake of using name, using terrorist or some bad elements, they stay in nook and corner. They stay in some nalas and all that. And here also in our body we have created those pockets where these so-called negative bacterias or negative viruses or negative fungus, they stay and then they come out as disease. Either they come out as some cancer. Let's say if we are having weak mouth, if we are eating all these tobacco, and if it is lungs and liver, if you are drinking, heavy drinker, alcohol drinker, if you are not exposing yourself to sunlight, then bone cancer. And it comes out, and it finds the weakest link and that comes out. So that bacteria, if it is good, it helps you to become stronger mentally, physically, spiritually. If you keep feeding that, and then you grow your belly, and then it goes, and sometimes it comes out as stone or some tumor or some of the other problems. Yeah,
Yeah.
Bhupendra.
Let me add just few points to this. So I think you have given your correct and personal experience of using the principles of Ayurveda to actually heal your body and also heal family members as well. Not as a replacement to to the modern medicine, but using modern medicine and complementing with the lifestyle changes as per Ayurveda to achieve a holistic health. So when we talk about Ayurvedic principles, when we talk about traditional medicines, we are not saying, okay, you don't have to go and get a surgery. Both the modern medicine and the ancient medicine practices both have a, a space, a place in our health approach towards over society and to individual. So it should not be taken as either or. Okay, there are some very good things which the modern medicine has. There are very good things which the traditional medicine has. So we have to incorporate and create a holistic medicinal system, a structure, an ecosystem where they complement each other. I live in South India, so I have seen in Chennai, in Bengaluru, in Kerala, there are a lot of Ayurvedic hospitals, Siddha medicine hospital. Siddha is another branch of medicine similar to Ayurvedic principles. And I have been to a Siddha hospital, government hospital in Chennai, and they are using the modern medicine principles which complement the existing traditional medicines to provide a cost effective holistic health care to the needy, to the poor who cannot afford to go to US and UK and other places to get a treatment. So this is very important for us to understand is that it should not be either or. And I'll come back to the food part. So as we shown in the Harvard study, that your gut bacteria, your gut microbiome is very essential to have a good mental health. So your mental health is a byproduct, an effect of what you consume. What you consume as prebiotic and prebiotic food and also probiotic food that feeds into your good bacteria, and that in turn gives you a kind of strength, a resistance against mental diseases like depression, anxiety, other things. So that's why we are telling that food as a medicine. If you're going to consume good, healthy, organic, prebiotic, probiotic food, you are going to achieve a good mental health as part of a regime itself. So that's why we call it food as medicine. Yes, go ahead, Shriram.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So both has to be seen. See, 200 years before, there was no allopathy or no this modern this thing. And even modern medicine, I'll tell you, you'll be surprised to know that there is a company in US and they are importing the extracts of periwinkle flower for using it as antibody during chemotherapy. So all the modern medicines also they have learned from plants, from herbs. That's the foundation of allopathy. And now they are studying. There is a lot of research happening in US and Germany and multiple countries on the extracts, the molecules you get it in from the leaves. So it's basically molecule. all these active ingredients or whatever these research, because I'm advisor to some of the large pharmaceutical companies also. Eventually they are extracting something, either they are replicating artificially that that effect of that molecule, and they are packing it in a capsule or in a tablet or in an injection, and they are feeding into your body. What I'm saying is, if right from birth, if we start following a traditional way of sanskar, right from garb sanskar, right from the thought process, the couple comes together or they are thinking about reproducing a child, right from that process, the Ayurveda, yoga, or the meditation, this starts. And the first 3 months, what that pregnant woman should eat and think, what we think depends on what we eat, and we are what we eat, and we are what we think, and what we think depends on what we eat. So everything boils down to your gut bacteria. What are you feeding to your cells? Eventually they have to be fed. So if we follow a particular lifestyle since the child is born, and then I think he or she will not need anything. But yes, surgery, and there are multiple intervention. But I'll tell you some, see, I'll tell you live example, because that will tell you, because see, I don't want to quote anything from outside, or my own example. So I suffered with slip disc almost 8 years back in 2017, and I was bedridden for 3 months. And doctor told me that you have to go for operation. And this is a famous neurosurgeon, I don't want to name him, and the famous hospitals of Bombay. You name it. All the top hospitals I consulted. Even during my wife's cancer, also Bridge Candy, Hiranandani Hospital, Bombay Hospital, Leelavati Hospital, SL Raj hospitals, we had consulted multiple doctors. So here also I consulted doctors, and they told me you have to go for operation. I went back to my drawing board. I read Charak Samhita. I listened to Rajubai Dikshit. I listened to some of the other doctors, and I came out with a protocol. Now, what was that protocol? I had less vitamin D3. I had single digit vitamin D3, 9. I had less calcium. I had less vitamin B12, was 200, 250 something. Calcium intensity, my bone intensity was early 90s. So I was there also, there was a problem. And my lower L1, L2, L3, L4, doctor told me it is equal to impossible to cure it. You go for operation. You know what I did? I followed a simple protocol. To address calcium, I started eating tuna, the normal tuna, equivalent of, I today also I had it in the morning in the sunlight. So normal tuna which you use in pan, that one equivalent of 1 grain tuna, then moringa patti powder, drumstick leaf powder, okay, then till. Till is the best source of calcium and vitamin B12. Okay. And then of course, and till you can use it not roasted, not salted. You have to chew it properly, or you make a paste with dates and eat it. And of course, I have
Uh, just just one thing, just one thing.
yeah.
Actually, I personally, okay, had those similar kind of issues, not as severe as those. So, like from sleeping pills to a lot of other medicines, which I was consuming due to very bad lifestyle that I used to lead. And then I also consulted some physicians, went to hospitals, Siddha and Ayurvedic. Okay, talk to them, talk to proper practitioners. Not don't go to anyone as who says I'm an Ayurvedic doctor. Go to the government hospitals. Go to registered practitioners who are there. Government are the best ones because they'll get cheap and you will also not get bad advice. And I changed my lifestyle. So circadian rhythm, food consumption. As you mentioned, I used to consume pizza almost twice in a week, mandatorily. Now, for last 1.5 years, if I look at pizza, I don't feel eating. So people who think that I cannot survive without junk food, take me as an example. Okay, I used to consume 2 or 3 pizzas every day in 2 years ago. Right now, even people give me a pizza, I'll not be eating it because I don't. I say no, no, I don't want this. Give me an apple. Okay, I'll eat an apple, but not pizza. So in that context, chewing, like whatever food you consume, you need to chew it properly, because there are uh, uh, bacteria in your mouth which actually help in digesting that food. Okay. So gut health, you have bacteria in your gut, but your process, digesting the food, starts with your mouth. So chewing your food properly, whatever you consume, is very important. Except milk and other liquid things that you cannot chew, but it's a very good important part of your uh, eating habits to chew your food properly. Don't just swallow it, because that will not help the digestion process. Go ahead.
No, no, absolutely, very right. You're pointing out to the very important aspect of it. Chewing even liquid, you have to eat the liquid. That is, in Vedas also it has mentioned, and you have to drink the solid food. So even milk, or for that matter, water, you have to have sip by sip. Our saliva early in the morning, when you get up, you just have to use your saliva and put it on your in your eyes, or put it on your any if you're hurt somewhere, some any wound, and it will get cured. So saliva, the digestion starts with saliva. Chewing is the most important thing. Even if you're eating the best superfood or the best the so even if you're eating the best quality food, or the best herbs, but if you're not chewing it rightly, and more, people say it 32 times or 40 times, so I chew it, make it liquid, and then gulp it. So that is the most important, the basic fundamental, and that's what we miss it. That's what we completely miss it. But if you chew cheese which is kept on the burger, you are not able to chew it. You will not be able to convert it into, break it into small pieces. If you're not able to break anything into small pieces, that should not be eaten. Simple. All these, sometimes, the paneer which is available outside, you're not able to chew it and make it a small piece. And gut bacteria, again, it's a proper science. I'm a mechanical engineer. The smaller the piece is, the easier it is to digest. For example, we are setting up some CBG plant. It is slightly different, but I'll just take 30 seconds. Setting up compressed biogas plant where there is a digester, which is like our gut, which is like our intestine and everything. And there, the smaller the piece is, the bacteria which we put in, it digests and creates methane, basically the biogas, and which we use it as fuel, or that is being used throughout India now. There also, it is important to break it as small as possible. So what you mentioned, it's a proper science. A detailed discussion can happen only on this, chewing and the saliva, and what important role the saliva has. If you're, and one more important thing, you have to do brushing, or I use gobar, the herbal manjan every morning and evening, and I don't have any problem in my teeth. But you have to brush your teeth in the evening. That is more important than brushing your teeth in the morning. It is so simple, plain. And then you eat, then you sleep it. After sleeping, once you get up in the morning, first thing, without spitting your saliva, either you drink it by drinking hot water, or I do it hot turmeric and raw honey water, and with all these ashwagandha and the, I told you, chuna and moringa patti powder and all that. But even if not normal water, drink it normal water, sip by sip, have that saliva go inside, not spit it out. And what we do, we go and start brushing our teeth with all these so-called, I don't want to name the brands again, but these brands have all sugar. I don't know what do they have. That's all you're giving it to your teeth, and that's not addressing it. I can bet my teeth is the best, one of the best. Because whenever I go, sometimes, they come in society for checking the teeth and all. They say, "Yeah, you are the best teeth." How is it possible? But I don't brush the teeth with all those advertised this thing, because they have sugar and they have multiple things which should not be fed to your teeth. You should have good herbal paste. Sometimes I use neem ka datul. So you are right, absolutely. Now that we are talking about saliva, We can talk about multiple aspects, including bathing, sweating, sunbathing, and and multiple five tattvas and how we can balance it. But this is very important. That's the liver part of it. Absolutely.
Yes.
So
So
I was
now
sharing
we'll
with
come
you. If you
to.
want, I can. I'll just finish my that. Okay. So apart from those three four things which I use it to address my calcium, my vitamin B12. The best thing for vitamin B12. जो हम आटा बनाते हैं और विच एवर जनरली आई ईट मिलेट 20 out of 30 days, 20 days I eat millet, 20 to 25 days, different kind of millet including jawar bajra and the five millets which Khadar Wali has mentioned. So but whenever you make atta out of it, you make it 6 7 hours before or 3 4 hours before and keep it like that before you make chapati or roti out of it, and that gets fermented little bit, which is going to feed the vitamin B12. And if you are having roti, raat ka bana hua roti in the morning, that is also little fermented, and eat that roti. That will give you vitamin B12, the best and the easiest and the cheapest way to get vitamin B12. Now coming back to vitamin D3, my vitamin D3 was 9 and I increased it to 37. The most important role played by sunlight. Today I exposed my body for almost an hour, and as far as possible without any cloth or with less clothes as possible. And even in Bombay in a flat, I can be without any clothes and expose my body to the sunlight, because you can do that. I mean, you can manage it somehow, because the sun comes from the top, it does not come from the front in the society. And it is not mandatory that you have early morning sun. You can have 9, 10, 11 o'clock and 12 o'clock also. I have taken sunlight of Nagpur even at in between 12 to 4 hours continuously, just to check what happens to my body completely on the terrace. So sunlight is the most important five elements of nature. You have five elements of nature. I call it Bhagwan, Bhumi, Gagan, Vayu, Agni, Neer, Bhagavana. And sunlight, which is your Agni, you have to take it every day. Now we are completely, with all clothes possible, and we are in AC throughout the day. We don't walk outside, we don't walk in the nature, we don't play outside. What will happen? Everyone, I'm betting 95% of the people are taking vitamin D3 medicine, or they are vitamin D3 deficient. And vitamin D3 deficiency is causing cancer, is causing diabetes, is causing all these viral, COVID. COVID also, doctor
Bone
suggested that
health.
go and expose yourself
Bone
to
health.
the sunlight.
Bone.
Bone
Yeah,
health,
bone
yeah, na,
health is very
because it's
important.
no, no, absolutely. So vitamin, so sunlight actually synthesizes your vitamin D3. It converts your fat, your cholesterol into vitamin D3, and it synthesizes the bone, the calcium. Without sunlight, you can't have calcium, strong bone. Without vitamin D3, you can't have good, strong muscles. It's so simple. Absolutely. So So I'm now, for example, I'm having sore throat now because I've traveled a lot. I'd gone to Kumbh, but nothing happened to me. But I went to Delhi and there was a lot of pollution for 7 8 days. And again, I was eating out because I was not at home. So I tried my best to get whatever good possible, but somehow I had to compromise on all these and and because of, but I'm using natural kada, and within 2 3 days I'll be able to cure it completely. Simple ghar ka kada. I don't need as any azithromycin, erythromycin, which I used to take 15 days, 15 years back. No medicine I need. You need, see, for me, Gilo is paracetamol. For me, the insulin plant and the periwinkle leaf is metformin. And you have alternatives for all the medicine you talk about. There are painkillers, there are replacement of statin also. So I'll tell you another example, because this is live, and if anyone needs a proof, I have a proof before and after. So I'll tell you another example. So this is a slip disc. Nothing happens to me. I do all kinds of yoga. You can go to social media. I do all Surya Namaskar and everything, and I've, I mean, addressed that my slip disc issue and my vitamin D3 issue. Okay, and I've been doing regular checks to just check on my vitamin D3 level. Now, there is another thing. Two more examples I'll quote. My own body, I mean, my extended family, I can quote multiple examples, including paralysis, cancer, and all that. But my own. So I was suffering with positional vertigo. My cholesterol was 230 in 2009 and 10, exactly 15 years back. Doctor told me, a very famous doctor of Andheri, told me that you have to start statin. And you know that I don't take medicine. So I again went back, what to be done? And I changed my lifestyle and I started doing yoga pranayama and only exposing myself to the sunlight and reduced my cholesterol level to normal in just 2 months.
Mm, okay, I think there is some connection issue.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, yeah.
you are
Sorry.
back. You are back. Go ahead.
Okay. So I used the natural way of addressing my cholesterol. Now, how you can reduce the cholesterol? See, cholesterol will get it from using the normal oil which is available in the market. Now, I don't want to use any brand name again, but you have to eat the right quality of oil. Now, the oil which is made by a factory, I have visited the largest oil making factory in Punjab, in Jagrama, where all the top brands are they source their oil from there. All your groundnut oil, your mustard oil, your rice bran oil. I don't know how come rice bran is oil, because oil can be only til, mustard, and coconut, and all these are oils and rice. So these oils they mix lot of they mix hexane. They mix a chemical which is a look-alike, and they mix it and then boil it so that it becomes a homogeneous mixture which becomes a transparent oil, and which they sell you at 200 rupees a kg, 150 rupees a kg, or 250 rupees a kg. Now, to make a 1 kg oil, you need around 2.5 3 kg of raw material. Generally, 30 to 40% is the oil output from beet, till, sesame, or mustard, sarso, or anything else, groundnut also. Mungfalli ka tel. All three. So imagine now if you go to the market and buy seeds, you will have to pay at least 100 rupees a kg of all three, if not more than that also. 100 rupees is a wholesale rate. So 300 rupees is the raw material of that oil, and then you make that oil, and of course the oil khali and all, you can use it to feed to cows and all that, but the raw material itself costs 300 rupees. How can you sell it at 200 rupees an oil? Same thing applies to your milk. So milk, if all this milk which is sourced, again no brand, but all the milk which is sourced from Jersey and HF, or maybe adulterated completely, and Indian breed cows, the ghee which we are using it. Again, I am talking about oil, ghee, because these are the milk main culprit for people say that cholesterol है तो ये सब नहीं करना चाहिए. So ghee which we are using it, all the brands are costing less than 1,000 rupees a kg. Now, if we talk about ghee, especially Indian breed cows, hardly 3 to 4% is the fat content. So, for making 1 kg of ghee, you need minimum 28 to 30 kg of milk. 30 kg of milk, and if you source the Indian breed cow milk, you will not get it less than 50 rupees a kg, a liter. So 30 liter into 50 is 1500 rupees, and then of course processing and making it to makhan and then to ghee and all that. So how is it possible to sell a ghee at 1,000 rupees a kg? Unless and until it is sourced from a cow, which is not a cow, Jersey and HF, which is an animal, a hybrid animal, and you can Google it. I am not saying anything from my own mind. It is a combination of genes. It is genetically modified animal. Like we have genetically modified grains nowadays. It is genetically modified animal consisting of genes from pigs, from yak, and from some animal from Europe called Uranus or something, just to make it more meaty so that it can be used as meat and to reproduce more milk. So Jersey and HF, they produce lot of milk, 30 to 40 liters one time. But what happens? These Jersey and HF cows, they get up, they give milk, and then they sit. They don't go out and do gaucharan, which is what our Indian breed cows, they go out, they do 10 kilometers every day, morning and evening. That is what Prabhu Sri Krishna used to do. He used to go out with cows and come back, and they used to come back in the evening, and they used to eat all right kind of herbs at the right time, and they used to give that herbs in as cow milk, and of course we convert Vedic way into ghee and into makhan. Prabhu Sri Krishna also was a makhan eater, not a milk eater. So we first of all eat makhan, chas, and ghee. Milk, unless and we are not able to digest the milk. So oil, ghee, milk, all these are the main problems causing cholesterol increase. I have lot of ghee every day. I have got 2 spoon of ghee in the morning, 2 spoon of ghee in the evening. Nothing happens to me. I sometimes I have milk also. I have less milk because I don't do much exercise. I do exercise, but not much like Dhoni or like some athlete or something. They need milk because they need that. So coming back to address the cholesterol issue, you need to address what we are eating, including oil. So you need to drink only कच्ची घानी से बना हुआ oil, which is produced with low RPM, with cold press they call it, low RPM oil, beet mustard or til, and also seasonal. Mustard should be used in winter. Coconut can be used in groundnut can be used in summer and all that. So it's basically based on season, based on geography and everything, and that is what needs to be done. So oil, I change my oil, I change my ghee. I buy ghee of 3,500 rupees a kg. Two brothers and multiple brands are there, and Patmeda, and there are so many good brands with Lakshana and all that. You buy those ghees, and important thing again, to convert your cholesterol into vitamin D3, you have to sweat out, and you can only sweat out when you go out in the nature. You go out and expose yourself to the sunlight and play cricket in the ground and not on the monitor. The today's kids have started playing game. This gaming is completely ruining life of all the kids now. They are playing football on the monitor, they are playing cricket on the monitor, they're playing everything on the monitor. We used to go out and play football, cricket, and everything outside. And unless and until that happens, you will definitely, everyone is going to suffer with cholesterol issue. The third thing, a simple another 1 minute. I had problem just 2 years back, 3 years back. I had a hole in my eardrum, hole, and a nearby hospital in Andheri. I went to the ENT doctor. He said you have to be operated. This is September 2022, 3 years back, and 2.5 years back. And the doctor told me you come for operation. He decided the date also. He started calling me, come. I had just gone because I had some infection, and this is of course using. After that, I have stopped using any earphone, only speakerphone or whatever, or slightly from distance. I have stopped using earphone. That's again causing, and everyone will have a lot of problem by using earphone. I came back. You know what I did? There is something called there is something called samudri fane. Fane. Samudri fane. See, I have this. Okay, this is samudri fane. This is samudri fane. This is basically bones of dead fish which floats on the sea surface, on the ocean. You must have seen there is something floating on the sea surface. That's samudri fen. It is basically like a coral or a white, tuna kind of material, but it is so light that it floats on the surface. That is very close to your eardrum or the bones. What I did, मैंने पीस के उसको 2 बार कान में डाल दिया, and this happened 3 years back. And then after a gap of 9, and this has been told to me by our Panchagavya specialist, Dr. Bharat Bairagi, who is in Karjat. And there are lakhs of such Panchagavya specialists in Bharat, I'm telling you, because this we have at our, I mean RSS, and we have each and every nagar, each and every prant, each and every jila district with one Panchagavya specialist, and they all expert. And he has been called to multiple locations, to multiple farmers market, to cure multiple diseases. I'm not claiming anything, but if you visit him in Bandra farmers market, you will come to know that there are people coming from Kashmir, Jharkhand, Bengal, and they have been cured by cancer, of cancer. So that doctor told me to have this, and then you do Brahmari, because then Brahmari actually makes, filters your ENT part of it. And there is a point in your leg, in your feet, just with the last two fingers here, this particular point, and you press that point. So I did that for 2 months, and my hole in the eardrum got cured. And I went to the same hospital. I showed it to another ENT doctor. There are three ENT doctor in that hospital, and I have the report before and after. If anyone wants, I can show it. And then I told him, okay, use your microscope, go deep into it. He said nothing. So there are multiple such examples, Bhupendra we have, and I have experimented. So I don't have to prove that, okay, this works or it does not work. This works. This has worked in my body. And multiple people, whoever I'm not a doctor, I have not studied Ayurveda, and I'm not a practitioner. But whenever I tell them that you do it, there is no harm into it. Na? All these fruits, vegetables, changing lifestyle, bathing with cold water, saliva, sunlight, sweating, all the normal, getting up early in the morning, tratak in the morning, doing agnihotra, not using, for example, your soap. I don't use soap. I use only Upton. No perfume. I use ether. No shaving cream. I use normal aloe vera or dahi or ghee and do shaving for last many years. I have not used any chemical on my body. Not even soap. I use only Upton or cow dung based. So use is so simple. It does not have any side effect. I'm not telling them to buy some Ayurvedic medicine filled with some metal and all that. That is very effective, but forget about it. At least change the lifestyle and eat and do the. And if you talk to your dada dadi na, they'll know about this samudri fen. They will 100% know about it, that they were using it. And you go to, so these are the natural ways I cured my multiple problems, my skin problem, my piles problem, my other problems. So that is where I am. And yeah.
Yeah, so actually, I was just sharing something which actually is now something which actually we were told is very bad for our health. So, like kids, small kids playing in the mud or just playing in the out in open on the fields. So now I think we were told that okay, kids should be in a very sterilized place where they will not get diseases. So now there are actually health studies which show that kids playing in the mud. So like correct, in Bharat we have the okay, a rich person's kid doesn't go in the open and play with normal kids. Okay, he will be in a very environment where everything is clean and clear. But there are research is showing that mud play is not only way to make precious childhood memories, it's also a great way to childhood to learn, relax, and let out creativity. Medical research shows that it can also be good for your child's physical and emotional health, and you can start early. Even babies can benefit from it. So, like I played in the mud. Okay, I was playing football in the mud for 2 hours. Okay, when it rains. Okay, now we don't do that. So these very
Absolutely.
small things that we had done. Now you're saying mentioned that okay, if kids are playing games on the computer and they're not going out. and they are not experiencing the environment. Okay, so our body, the Panchabhuta, okay, we need to feel the air, we need to feel the sun, we need to feel the heat. The body is built for that. Okay, so as you mentioned, correct, I live in Chennai, and Chennai at 40 degrees, I went at 12 noon for a walk. Okay, and I was doing 3 days water only fasting. I do 3 days only, 3 days to 5 days water only fasting every month. And doing fasting, I would be walking 30 kilometers a day while doing fasting. Okay, and people think how you're alive. I'm saying I'm not alive. I work 16 hours a day every day for last 6 months, and I don't feel tired, and without consuming a lot of food. So your body can tolerate a lot of things, but just make small changes into your lifestyle. Okay. Consume your food before 8 p.m. Try to do that. Okay. Reduce the amount of food you consume at dinner. Okay. Have light dinner just to start with. Okay. Wake up in the morning and see the sun. Just force yourself. Wake up in the morning, go out in the sun, look at the sun for 15 minutes. Your day will be much better. You will have a better sleep at night. These are very small things which you don't have to like do a lot of hard work, but they will be beneficial if you can continue this for 1 month, 2 months. If you do it, you will see the benefits are coming out. We are not here to sell any medicine or sell anything. We are just telling you what we have experienced, we have practiced it, and we see the benefits. And now we're telling why don't you try? Like, it doesn't cost any money to the viewers or to the audience to go out, wake up in the morning and go to the sun. It doesn't cost any money, but it will give you immense benefit to your health, to your mental health, to your sleep, to your immune system. Your immune system is dependent on vitamin D3, and D3 secretion only happens organically in your skin when your skin hits ultraviolet light from sun. So that's how benefit it gives to you. Just spending 15 minutes silently standing in the sun. Yeah, over to you.
Yes, no, absolutely. You have touched upon the two very, very important point. One is being close to the nature, Panch Mahabhuta. Our three doshas. Our Vat, Pit, Kaph. So Vat is your air and sky, and Pit is your fire, and Kapha is your water and earth. And believe me, again, same Panchagavya doctor told me, especially for women, if they're suffering with PCOD, post-menopause, menopausal problems, and multiple problems, because these women are wearing slippers all the time, shoes all the time, and that's the whatever they call it. I don't know what do they call, where uh, you know different kind of. For them, the doctor has told that walk barefoot on the ground, and I experimented this during my winter. In the month of January, I went to Kumbh. I was walking barefoot for 5 6 days, and I was so energized there. I was not feeling cold at all. I walked for 20 25 kilometers every day so that I could cover at least 10% of what is offered in Kumbh. Very few. So walking and in touch with the earth, with air, with sunlight, and with water, bathing with cold water, always has helped me to cure to address multiple problems. So the kids, actually, this article is so good. The kids should go because they should play with the right microbes which are present in the mud. Even if by accidentally they eat mud, nothing is going to happen because they are eating all pizza, burger, and Coke, Pepsi, which are far worse and than mud. And this is, and of course, the mud should be organic and should be like below the tree of banyan or neem or people or mango or whatever. So that is one aspect of it. The other point you touched upon is what you are following it, eating less and eating in the gap of those 8 to 10 hours, the daytime, not even 8. Before sunset you should eat everything. After sunset, nothing. If you feel like doing something, maybe have some soup and all, and sometimes turmeric milk, but little bit of it. Otherwise, you should not eat anything after sunset, and you will solve all the problems. I solved my bleeding bacteria, bleeding piles. I was operated twice, I told you, and I could now I'm able to defecate only in 1 or 2 minutes in the morning. The best thing to happen in my life. Otherwise, I used to take half an hour to 1 hour bleeding. I could not empty my stomach in the morning. It was like so painful. You can imagine how painful it is, feeling like bloating and nothing coming out from below. So that happens if you eat less, or maybe follow a one cooked meal a day, which is what I am following. I have the main meal in the afternoon, and one can have a heavy breakfast, but I generally have lot of fruits, lot of nuts very important, and all the rice we source it, which are tribal rice with bran, and dal should be with chilka. Wheat should be the old variety of wheat like khapli wheat and all that. Otherwise, best is to have millets. So our this fasting has been followed by our women for thousands of years. And the Japanese, that person, I'm forgetting the name, he got Nobel Prize
Yeah.
few years back because of autophagy. And fast yourself, your bodies will kill your negative bacteria or negative cells, and you will become stronger. I have not eaten anything till now. And you are right. If you don't eat, you are more energized. This I have learned from Sadhguru. Sadhguru have only one meal a day, and only nuts and fruits, and at other time, and that gives you a lot of energy. And I can bet, when I go and take lecture outside in the colleges, I invite 25-year-old, and if they can beat me in my push-ups, I do 50 push-ups one time. They are not able to do it. I do skipping of 300 times. They are not able to do it. So it's not. It's about, so eating less, eating good quality and nutritional food. Now, nutritional food can only come when you do organic agriculture, when you have right kind of soil enrichment, which is only possible by using desi cow dung and cow urine, because the cow dung provides that kind of bacteria, which is because of the large intestine which Indian breed cows has, not the HF and Jersey. So there is a lot, which this is like an ecosystem, and which we can get it only if we are in touch with the soil and do fasting. You are absolutely right.
Yeah, so we will, I think another 10 to 20 minutes, we will finish the session. But we are going to have multiple sessions. We are going to talk about specific aspects of food and on organic food, on organic farming, and many other issues that we will talk about in our coming sessions. So do consider channel subscription and also support us so that we can invite more guests. On to that point. So the human beings on Earth are about 8 billion, or maybe about 7 to 8 billion. Okay. The microbes, the bacteria actually outweigh us by maybe 100 times. So our body consists of billions of bacteria who live inside us, from our mouth to our gut to every possible, even the skin, even the skin on your head has bacteria in it.
Yes, yes,
So
absolutely.
there is an a symbiotic ecosystem where the bacteria living on our body, inside our body, on top of our body, have a synthetic symbiotic relationship where bacteria help us to get better health. And with modern lifestyle, we are killing those healthy bacteria and we are promoting bad bacteria, which will cause a lot of issues from depression to mental health to other issues that we see. Okay. So it's very important that the bacteria cycle comes from the cow consuming the vegetation. Then they will put out as a cow dung. Then the bacteria will go into the soil. Then you grow the food. So there's a whole bacteria cycle going on, nitrogen cycle. Okay. And our body is intrinsically linked to that cycle. When we consume junk food on a day-to-day basis, we are breaking that cycle. And that breaking cycle will mean that people will be suffering from depression, mental health issue, all the other issue related to lifestyle, depression, all those things will happen. Even my example, correct? I was taking sleeping pills 1.5 years ago. Now I don't need. I even sleep for only 6, 7 hours a day. I'll sleep. But I am able to make those changes. It's very difficult. Let me tell you, I did 100-hour fasting, what only fasting. It is really difficult to do. But if you can manage to do it, you will work for 16 hours a day and you will not feel mentally tired and physically tired. So, yeah, but do consult people, physicians, practitioners, medical practitioners, even dietitians. They will help you based on your current health conditions. How fasting, how water only fasting, how consumption of healthy food can actually improve your overall health, your family's health, and that would improve the overall health of the society itself. And you will be a much better person, individual. You will be able to perform better in many ways, in your professions, in your daily lives. So on that front, we will end today's podcast, but we will take questions and also we will also give some suggestions to the audience. So we have first question from Shaptursi. So this is the question which has come. How are the classifications of Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic done based on the methodology of Ayurveda? Uh, you're on, you're on mute.
Right.
Yeah,
Oh,
go ahead.
perfect. So, see, this actually is linked to our three dosha and five elements of nature. So, sattvic food is any food which is liked by your gut bacteria. But since you have made your body and your gut bacteria like a terrorist or atankwadi, they will like probably more sweet, more pizza, more burger, more Coke, Pepsi, and more such junk food or juices and packed food. So, whatever is closer to nature and whatever is grown naturally is sattvic. And you are converting that into Rajasic and Tamasic. And so, Tamasic foods are all your junk food because that makes you lethargic. As Bhupenji pointed out, that makes you weaker and illness comes and you take a lot of sick leave. I have not taken sick leave for many years. The best advantage of having sattvic food is you don't have to go for leave. I'm slightly having sore throat, but I can continue. I can walk, I can talk, and I can do anything. Nothing happens to me because I cure naturally. So anything tamasic are all these packed foods, all foods which are now rajasic is basically with more oil, more sweet, and all that. But rajas used to fight. They were fighters. They were fighters. They used to go out and walk and fight and exercise. And in fact, earlier our parents, our grandparents, they used to cycle. They used to go out and work in the farm. So even that time, Rajasic food was still okay. Having more oil, having more ghee, having more milk for that matter, having more nuts, having more, walnut and kaju and kishmish and all that. And sattvic food is your normal vegetables, normal fruits, normal leaves, normal seeds, which are very sattvic. So that's how I personally, as a layman, classify sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. Of course, your alcohol and your all the junk foods and all packed foods are tamasic. So it's a simple definition as on today. But tamasic foods are that food which makes you lethargic, which makes you sleepy, feel sleepy, and rajasic makes you, more nowadays. Of if you have more rajasic food, you will become more bulky, more fatty, which so focusing on sattvic food is more important, which is what Prabhu Sri Ram used to eat and drink. Shabri offered a bear to Prabhu Sri Ram. Okay, so all the Vedas are filled with sattvic food. Ramayana has 200 mentioned 200 varieties of leaves or trees or fruits. We know of only Ashoka and Sanjeevani and Shabri ke bear. but there are multiple such varieties. So those are sattvic food, according to me. And but of course, you can read a lot of these Vedas. um, David Foley has written a very good book on Ayurveda and yoga. You can read Charak Samhita also to classify it. But because if you read Charak Samhita, it will take at least 1 year, for maybe not 1 year, maybe a life for me to read the whole Charak Samhita, and in spite of that may not even understand what it is. So best thing is anything which is sourced naturally, which is produced as per laws of nature, and you can pluck it and eat it naturally. That's sattvic. And the more you convert
E-
it, it becomes rajasic and tamasic. Yeah,
Yeah,
Bhupenji.
so so just to actually compliment, so in our thumbnail we had put cucumber, apple, paneer, we have put millets, fruits, and a bit of nuts as well. So here is the nuts. So you'll see mango and coconut mango. You have cucumber. So a lot of food. So that would you call correct normal food that see you don't have to do any research. Just go back 30 years ago and remember ask your parents what they used to. Don't do any research. Don't go to anybody. Ask your grandparents, even 30, 40 years who are now in their uh, 60s or 70s. Ask your grandparents what they used to consume 30, 40, 30 years ago and just consume that you will be more than happy more with your health. That's how simple things are. We make things very complicated. Okay, you don't have to do that. Just go ahead and ask your parents what they used to eat 30 years ago and try to consume that. That will also help, will have a lot of benefits. Okay, if you don't have it, and one of the great things about is that all the herbs that Shriram is talking about you can grow at your home. From celery, dhania patta to green chilies, all the herbs you can grow at your home. It doesn't take a lot of effort. Okay, and you can consume it. Okay? You'll be consuming fresh. See, the most important thing which actually people may not experience is you cook with your own homemade garden herbs and make a salad and consume it and then try again the same salad on restaurant. Just try once, see the difference that you see the taste and the way you are digesting it. So it's very simple to do. It's not a rocket science, but yes, yeah, some effort needs to be done. See, it has to be priority. We
So
as a
here,
society, we as individual need to make sure health is our priority and make it a priority. Only then you will be able to actually devote time to this. You can't say I don't have time. You have to have time to make your health better. That's how health is wealth. Yeah, Sriramji.
yeah, no, absolutely. So the most important thing here is, uh, all the fruits and vegetables, like our kitchen garden. Of course, we can't grow much, but still, you rightly pointed out, I have my own kadi patta. At least I have my own all the different leaves, aloe vera, and some other, I had grown tomato and all that desi variety. But the most important thing is to eat organically grown and desi variety. Now, to identify the desi variety is so simple. For example, banana or pomegranate or your guava, anything which looks ugly. I'm talking different, and size maybe medium to small, be it orange, and with dag, which has patches on it. These are the right variety of fruits. That's the problem. People are having bigger variety of guava, which are all hybrid, bigger variety of pomegranate, bigger variety of banana, G49, and I don't know what all they call about. Very, clean looking peel and chilka. No, you need smaller, you need a normal, if you go in the, in the whatever the fruit or vegetable market, you will see all the and go in the corner somewhere, some lady sitting coming from Virar or Vasai or somewhere from Nashik. Go there and buy that lady's chota chota cheeze, whatever she has brought, same ka falli, barbati falli, or some bhindi, or some brinjal, which is grown inside her area, and not these all good looking fruits and vegetables. So, according to me, all naturally grown fruits and vegetables are sattvic, but all chemical grown fruits and vegetables are tamasic, not even rajasic. Because if you see what has happened to Punjab, everyone in Punjab is suffering because of excessive use of chemical and pesticide in the name of green revolution or whatever. All rice and wheat. First of all, rice and wheat should not be eaten at all. I mean, even if you don't eat these two grains, nothing will happen to you. I am the best example. I have 90% of the time only millets, and my stamina has gone up. So that whatever has happened there, using chemical and using honey sing culture, basically they all have been fed chemical infested. And everyone, I have traveled, I'm telling you with full responsibility, I've traveled to Punjab, to Bhatinda, to Fazilka, to north part of Rajasthan, Hanumangarh, Ganganagar, and Abhor, and further up till border of Punjab. I've gone till Pakistan border. I've seen the kind of chemical they use it. And everyone in the family, at least one person in one family has cancer or nazla. That is because of this tamasic food. So, source only. And millet, for example, millet is a natural Indian food. It does not require water, it does not require chemical. That's why, Pradhan Mantri Modi ji has rightly last year named it as International Year of Millet. So millet, in spite of all that, very few people are using millet. Why can't we start eating millet? It's so simple. That is sattvic. But eating genetically modified wheat or genetically modified rice, which are like big rice, all these rice which is sold in the market, all are tamasic. You source rice from tribal. Go to tribal village. Go to here nearby. Thane only. There are Indrayani variety, Ambe More, and multiple good varieties of rice available, and Bhutki variety in Jharkhand, and all those. Just go and source it from them, and you'll love those rice. So those are sattvic food, and genetically modified food. All the foods and fruits and vegetables are tamasic according to me. So that's I just wanted to clarify. And same thing applies to oil. Same things applies to even salt. The wheat, the free flowing salt, the free flowing sugar, all these are tamasic. But the pink salt, the patthar wala salt, or the jaggery, which is natural jaggery or raw honey, is sattvic. So the same thing can be sattvic and tamasic based on the processing or where it is sourced from. Yeah, over to you, Bhupendra
Yeah,
ji.
yeah. Thank you. Thank you for this great explanation. So, we have one more question. I'm not sure whether we are able to answer this question because we are not medical practitioners. But if you know anything about it, you can tell. This is problems like
Cognitive nerve, like the feeling
mm,
of clotting, what are its probable causes? Would like to know from Shriram ji. No, so I had a high. I think the person is talking about clotting of our artery or veins, more cholesterol in the blood. I think is that what the person is talking about?
yeah, Shoptorsi, if you are if you're there, could you just clarify your question a little bit more so that we can answer it? But what we'll do is we have one very good question, very important question from Abir Mojumdar.
No, no. So I'll
Can
I'll
the
answer
guest?
that. That is very important. I'll answer that. So see, our clotting, or our blood arteries or veins, we call it heart attack aane wala hai, ye aane wala hai, itna blockage hai. That is because of two things: cholesterol and calcification of your blood. And why does calcification of your blood happens? Because we are not able to absorb the calcium from the food, and it goes into blood. And why we are not able to do it? Because we are not exposing ourselves to the sunlight, we are not doing exercise. So
D3,
calcification can be
D3,
stopped.
vitamin D3.
D3, D3, absolutely. And calcification and all the calciferol on all the tablets which you are using, these are not the natural source of calcium. The natural source of calcium is till, moringa patti, tuna, and multiple. Even milk is produced. Cow produces milk by eating all the raw vegetables and fruits. So calcium is there in spinach and multiple foods. So natural calcium. But what we have started doing, just you know
having all those calcium pills, which I'm sorry, I'm not recommending anything you eat, or you take that medicine or not to take medicine, but that's the not the natural way of feeding your calcium, getting your calcium. So get calcium by using sunlight and all that. Cholesterol, I told you already, you can reduce the cholesterol. My cholesterol was 230, 240. Triglyceride was very high. If I show you my blood report 15 years back, you'll be surprised at how come this guy is still alive. He was saying a heart attack aa jayega, statin lena padega, and this doctor, I still debate with him. बोला आपको स्टैटिन लेना ही पड़ेगा, नहीं तो मर जाओगे तुम. पोजिशनल वर्टिगो, आई कुड नॉट इवन, ऐसा हो रहा था तो चक्कर आ रहा था. देयर वाज सो मच कोलेस्ट्रॉल इन इनसाइड मी. But naturally, moving to one meal a day, more raw fruits, more, if you're eating oil and ghee, I explained you what kind of oil and what kind of ghee you should take it. So if you do that, I think the whatever the blockage will not happen, and the natural blockage, blockage will go naturally. You will not require stent or operation. And by the way, this I'm saying again because a lot of my clients talk about it. I tell them was no harm in changing the lifestyle. I'm not asking you to take medicine and all that, sir. Just simply changing the food and where you source it, and they have done it. And one of my client who is owner of the five-star hotel, and he has cured diabetes and cholesterol within 1 year. So it is possible. So if that is the question, I think that is possible by you doing this, following this natural lifestyle.
Sure, thank you. So we'll take the last question we have. Okay, so can the guest suggest some books to read on dosha and Ayurvedic diet? So
See,
you
nowadays,
mentioned, correct, Dr. David Frawley. Dr. David Frawley. So I
David
have his
Fowler's
website.
Ayurveda and Yoga. Yeah, that's a good book. I may have that here. But you can read some books like, see, this is Charak Samhita. I don't know whether, because this is very big book and not one. There are two Samhitas, and there is this Ashtang Hridayam written. This is actually compiled long back by Rishi Vagbhat. But I suggest you listen to people. You listen to gurus. You listen to Rajiv Bhai Dikshit, Sadhguru, Shri, and so many doctors, so many good people are there, and understand from them. You know, Hansa Didi hai yahan, in Bombay. She talks a very good, and Prabhu, even Namdev Baba for that matter. All these people, yeah, David Fowler's book, absolutely. So there are multiple books available, but you listen to people. I'm more like audio person, so I love listening to videos, and I have learned by listening to them. And now people are covering even Rigved, Yajurved, Samved, and Atharved. They all, everything Gita and everything is available online, and try to understand from them, to understand all these about doshas, about Panch Mahabhut. And it is not that difficult, it is very easy. And important thing is to talk to your grandparents, talk to your dada dadi. They will tell you everything. They will even tell you nadi pariksha and how it is being done and what to eat, what not to eat. But we have stopped going to our grandparents. We have stopped going to older people. When I go to village to see organic farm, I call, whenever I'm addressing, I tell people, please bring the oldest people in this village. I would like to talk to him. And I bring him and they sit with me. And before I talk, I tell them to share their story. That's all. My half of my work is done. When I'm talking about organic agriculture, Gau Adharit Krishi in my RSS Bauddhik, I do that. So you talk to your grandparents and listen to them. Otherwise, these are the books. There are multiple books available. But the main book of Ayurveda is your Charak Samhita, which is the topmost, the Gita of Ayurveda, and and Ashtang Hridayam and Ashtang Sangraham and Patanjali Sutra, and there are multiple such sutras are there. You have to read it, all these Vedas, and get the information from it.
Yes. So, and to the for the audience who are watching and listening, Charak Samhita, let me just share my screen. Yeah. So, all the Ayurvedic books, because there's no copyright to that, so you can go to National Institute of Medicine and Health. Okay, this is the website where you can find
Very good.
all the books which are available. So you have seen Charak Samhita here. You have user manual, abbreviations, search. So all the things are available. So if you go to this specific website, so you don't have to spend money. Again, we are not here to promote or do any business of any kind. Okay. Everything is available free of cost. You don't have to spend a single penny. If you have a mobile recharge or a data recharge, you can go to this website and go to on internet. You will find enough material available. And the best thing which Shriramji has mentioned, listen to people. If you go on YouTube and ask about Ayurvedic practices, from David Frawley to their other practitioners, Baba Ramdev, Sri, they are there and they will give you some advice. And you don't have to believe them. It's very important that whatever you hear, listen, go and read Charak Samhita, go and read some passages of it to understand the context of it. So it's a very important in our like social media. We don't do research, we don't read. Even whatever we are saying, just have a doubt, go ahead, read Charak Samhita, read some other books by David Frawley. Understand, do your own research because it is your own health that you are talking about. Do your own research, understand, do some meditation, go online and search the benefit of meditation. How many research papers did all across the globe from Harvard to Stanford to Oxford to Cambridge? And that would be there. So you will validate the statements. You don't have to believe blindly to anything which comes in your way. Do your own research. Ask us. We will provide you, okay, this is the resource you can go and read. So that would be also there. So it's very important for
Yeah.
you to take care of your own health and make it a priority and spend time on your health. Read books, ask questions. Yeah, Sridhamji.
See, there are various books. Like this is the book which is written by Professor Devendrath Mish on on Bali Chikitsa, and it starts with and there is Acharya, Sanskritam from Gujarat. He is expert in Mehul Acharya Bhai, expert in Bal, right from Bal Sanskar, Garb Sanskar, he talks about it and he has given lot of videos on it. Then there is Sri Rog Vigyan, another I am reading. So there are different good people, and of course, you may know a younger yoga, and all these people are there. And but once you are curious enough, now you will get all these information. Start reading whenever you have time. Focus on it. Maybe Bhupinji, what we can have a focused discussion on, let's say, on specific disease, because you can't do it. I mean, Rishi Vagbhat did this by experimenting throughout his life, and then he compiled this. So this is like a khajana, but you may not be able to even appreciate and complete this throughout your life. I'm telling you, it is very difficult. So maybe we can have one particular prakriti discussion. Let's say Vat, Pitt, Kaph. Vat के लिए क्या करना है, Pitt के लिए क्या करना है, Kaph के लिए क्या करना है, या particular disease. Of course, Ayurveda addresses the whole body. It does not talk about any particular disease. But let's say a particular disease, cancer or diabetes or whatever, and then you look for that particular, and you will get it. किसी को depression हो रहा है, तो क्या करना चाहिए? सो डिप्रेशन के लिए, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, आई टेल यू सिंपल थिंग्स व्हाट आई लर्न. Just go out and sleep under the moon in during summer at least. That that cools your mind. And having ekadasi vrat, these two things will solve your depression, your suicidal tendency, your everything, because it is scientifically designed. Ekadasi is 11th day. After that comes 12th, 13th, and 14th day, when there is lot of problem. The even sea goes up and down. There are high tide and low tide. Imagine what happens to our body, which has 70% water, especially women. They have their menses dependent on moon cycle. So it is applicable to them. So just, and that I have learned by listening to Raju Bhai Dikshit and by reading this, that go out and be close to the moon. Earlier, people used to sleep in the open in the night, in the under the sky, and having Ekadasi Vrat. So these are the simple things which is mentioned in Vedas. So no complication. Bhupenji is right in saying it is not that complex a science, and I have just learned from them, applied on my body. Maybe it takes 1 year or so to understand your body prakriti and what is good for you, what is not good for you. I had chas 4 5 days back in the evening. which I should not have taken. Because of that, I have sore throat now. Just because I didn't have anything else, so chalo le lo, acha gaushala thi sab thi. So we just have to understand our body, follow something, listen to these gurus, understand, get something from each, and apply, and then you will be like your own doctor. अपने खुद के डॉक्टर बन जाओगे आप.
Yeah, so yeah, I think we will have those discussion and sessions. So we will design those sessions maybe coming weeks. So we will have Shriramji back and we will address specific concerns specifically on the lifestyle diseases chapter because that's a very especially people living in cities or semi-urban spaces. They have this lifestyle problem where their lifestyle is causing a lot of diseases and which can be addressed very easily like changing the when you sleep when you eat and you go for a walk and do a sunlight will actually fix maybe 80% of the problem. It doesn't require a lot of effort in terms of medicine and other things. So we'll focus on that. Coming weeks, we will have Shridhamji back and talk to us, and we will also give specific recommendation on books. We'll also review some books, maybe sometimes by David Solly and other authors, to give a bit more insight to the readers or audience who can actually go and read those books. I have actually read. I have read a lot of Ayurvedic books, not on Hindi,
Another
and also we will do. Yeah, go ahead.
No, another one book I just remembered. So Dr. Rajesh Kapoor, he is based out of, Himachal. His book I am distributing. So his book is very good book. Dr. Rajesh Kapoor. I mean, one Google's and he has lakhs of followers and he's one of my guru. So I'm telling you, I've got a lot of these people, and at least hundreds of them, and they are so good. Just learn from them. Maybe sit with them and read. So he has a book. He has a book on lifestyle. So his book you can order, Dr. Rajesh Kapoor. And I'm reading his book.
I
I
am.
distribute his book. Yeah, maybe we can read, and probably Bhupenji, you can also we can do some kind of analysis of that book. Dr. Rajesh
Yeah, yeah,
Kapoor,
yeah.
you can just Google Dr.
Yeah,
Rajesh
yeah. Here
Kapoor.
it is. Is it the same book we're talking about? Because
He has only one
Doctor.
book.
Okay, I
I'll
will.
I'll have.
Maybe I'll have the link later there in our next program. So when we do it,
No, you can do Google. I mean, just to show. I mean, I'll just tell you whether the person is same.
actually, I yeah. So that's what. So I think we need to know Dr. Rajesh Kapoor, director of mental. No, I
No,
think there
no,
are a lot of
Rajesh Kapoor.
Rajesh
Are
Kapoor
Rajesh
books.
Kapoor? Vaidya dalo. Vaidya Rajesh Kapoor.
Okay,
Vidi
okay,
Vaidya
okay,
Rajesh Kapoor.
okay, okay,
So
okay.
I mean,
Just
just
hold on.
showed this to them because there you will understand the overall, what needs to be done for each and every. And of course,
Yeah,
he
I
writes
got
on
it now.
multiple. You got it?
I got it now. Yeah, let me just check. Yeah, he has his channel itself. So he has a
Yeah, he has a
YouTube
channel.
channel. Let
Yes.
me just open this as well. And I think people can subscribe to him. Just I am just sharing it screen right now. So here is his channel. Audio is already there. So here is Ayurveda Secrets, Vaidya Rajesh Kapoor, the Himachali podcast. So here is channel. Channel, if you can see here, I will post a link as well. I'll post a link on the chat itself so people can go and subscribe him as well. And so just go to YouTube. I think on his podcast you will have his books also available.
No, no. Is he Dr. Rajesh Kapoor? Just show me his. No, no. Just show me his face.
Here, 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 here it is. Here it is. Can you
Yeah,
see?
yeah, yeah. Perfect. Yes, yes, yes. He's the same. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah. So I have pasted the channel video link as well on the chat, so you can go ahead. And I think on the channel you will find his works as well,
Hmm.
all his
Hmm.
books. Anyway, in our coming podcast,
Right, right.
we are going to do a lot of these things, discuss books, discuss specific lifestyle issues, diseases that we have. And I think we wish you all our audiences, all our listeners who will listen to this right now or listen to in future as a recording, a very good health, okay, a very happy life to you, and do consider making some small changes into your lifestyle, very small things like seeing sun. Wake up in the morning and see the sun. Sun will not going to make you any harm. Okay, we are living under sun for thousands of years. How does sun harm you? Sunlight in the morning for 50 minutes or 20 minutes is going to be an immense benefit to you. So now with this marketing campaigns, you see sun as something which is going to kill you. Okay. We see a lot of marketing campaign going on. It doesn't really work like that. I have been walking on Chennai heat at 12 noon for half an hour without any issues. I'm still alive. If I am alive, you can be also alive. So don't worry about your body. Your body can do a lot of things. Your body is a miracle of nature, miracle of this whole cosmos. Okay, it has withstood a lot of bad things. You are not as weak as you think you are. Just have faith in yourself, believe in Bhagwan, and just read, do research, take your health as a priority, and work on them. If you have any questions, our email address is navavimarsh@gmail.com. You will find our email address in our channel description. Send us an email, send your questions. We will try to address them. We will invite guests who will answer your questions. We'll discuss your points that you want to discuss with us regarding to your health, Ayurveda, and traditional medicine. So on that note, we'll end today's program. A very thank you to all the people who joined us for
Thank
your
you very much.
questions, for your comments. Thank you. Jai Shri Ram. Vande Mat.
Yes, Kiran. Thank you very much. Thanks. Thanks.